This is a top sirloin cut. It cost $18 for 3 of them. A lot of chefs say that it's the most fun cut to cook. With the top sirloin, you can do a lot of things with sauces, with different spices, with different methods of cooking. And these, well, these are crickets. I'm not sure what the grading system is for crickets, but I'm gonna eyeball these and say they're AA. Now, one of these is a delicious meal for humans. The other is a delicious meal for other animals. Unless you're Justin Trudeau. Let me explain.
I'm Nicole Kidman, and I am going to eat bugs.
This video isn't actually about whether or not it's gross to eat bugs. This video is about government waste, not just on big things, but on things like this, subsidizing cricket production. Now, as the cost of living crisis keeps hurting Canadian families, a lot of people have had to cut back on their groceries. They literally swap out beef for chicken, or they eat less. Some parents are reporting that they're literally skipping meals just so that their children can eat.
The resurgence of scurvy in Canada is raising concerns of broader issues related to growing food insecurity and the rise in cost of groceries.
But there's one thing you can't cut back on. You can't choose to send the government less of your tax dollar. If they determine you owe them something, they will collect it. They will take it right off your paycheck. They will send collections agencies after you. One day, they will send the police to arrest you to force you to pay your taxes. So the least we can expect is that the government would treat your tax dollars with respect and only spend it on things that are absolutely necessary. Now, Justin Trudeau wastes a lot of your money, and it adds up to big bucks, like the Canada Infrastructure Bank, $35 billion. It's been around for about 8 years, hasn't completed a single project. Or there's the $250 million that Justin Trudeau sent to the Asian Infrastructure Bank to build pipelines and roads and bridges in other countries. Or the Housing Accelerator Fund. This is a multi-billion-dollar fund that goes to pay big city bureaucrats to build fewer homes. But there are also a lot of smaller items that might not seem as big when you compare them to billions of dollars, but to you and me, 100,000 here, $1 million there, pretty soon it all adds up too. This brings me to the dozens of dinner guests I have this evening. You see, Justin Trudeau thought that the way to respond to higher grocery prices was to give your money, $9 million, in the form of a grant to a cricket farm. These are crickets for human consumption. He took $9 million of Canadian taxpayers' money to subsidize a private company to build a massive, in fact, the world's largest cricket farm. Now you might ask yourself, why on earth would Justin Trudeau fund a cricket farm? Well, you see, this is part of the Liberals' wacko environmental agenda. Because they're not just talking about making cars more efficient or greening the electrical grid by finding cleaner ways of producing electricity. What they're talking about is making this more expensive and making you eat this. That's what their press release said. It said the subsidy would, quote, produce high volumes of nutritious food with a low environmental footprint and meet global demand for food by using less water, energy, and space. So just put that side by side. On the one hand, Justin Trudeau is imposing a fertilizer cap on Canadian farmers so they can produce less food. He's imposing a carbon tax that literally makes every aspect of food production more expensive. And if you think about it, Justin Trudeau is taxing this to subsidize that. Not only do you have to pay higher beef prices when you do want to treat your family, but you have to know that part of your tax dollar is going to grow these little guys. This is part of their wacko agenda. They couldn't tax Canadians to hitting their own climate performance targets, so now they're going to subsidize cricket production and bully us into eating them. Now, I'm not sure all the ways that you might want to eat a cricket, but what I'm told is that they're trying to create a market for cricket powder, and that this would replace protein. So instead of getting protein from nutritious beef or chicken or pork, that you would buy bags of these ground up crickets to sprinkle on your vegetables or something. Now, for reasons that I just cannot explain, business isn't all that good in the human cricket consumption market.
But there is one major unanticipated challenge in the nascent Canadian cricket sector. People don't actually like to eat bugs.
No, absolutely not.
It's hard for me to think of anything more disgusting than crickets for someone to eat.
I hope you cows are decent. Oh, crap on a crutch! Ah! They're milking rats! Milking rats! Rats, I'm outraged. You promised me dog or hire.
Now, where did Justin Trudeau get this idea from? Well, this was another idea that came out of the World Economic Forum. Remember that? This is an organization that has pumped out all kinds of crazy ideas, like in the future, you'll own nothing and be happy.
Or eating bugs. This was literally a policy proposal made by the World Economic Forum back in 2022, just around the same time that Justin Trudeau wrote this big fat check from taxpayers' money to subsidize cricket production in Canada.
These are all wacko ideas that come from a group of global elites who want to plan your life for you while they still get to live their high-flying, jet-setting, hypocrite lifestyle. And of course, remember, when they get called out on it, the reaction of the Trudeau Liberal crowd is to accuse others of spreading conspiracy theories. Except they're actually funding cricket production. They're imposing measures that make this more expensive while using your tax dollars to produce more of these.
What a breathtaking possibility that is.
So beef versus crickets. Let's try it. That's delicious. Okay, here we go.
I'm Nicole Kidman, and I am going to eat bugs.
This is a powder derived from the mealworm, and it's a insect protein.
Nope, I'm not gonna do it. I'm never eating a cricket. I'm never eating cricket powder, and I don't want my tax dollars or yours going to pay to produce these, while at the same time the government's making this more expensive. We want to send a message to Justin Trudeau. Stop wasting our tax dollars. Stop funding stupid things like crickets for human consumption, and start cutting taxes on the ranchers and farmers that actually produce healthy, nutritious food that Canadians want to eat. And remember, please like and subscribe so you won't miss out on any future videos that I do highlighting this kind of waste. Now, I realize that part of this video has been a little bit gross because it's not really pleasant to look at a jar full of crickets. So, to make up for it, I'd like to leave you with a little bit of ASMR of a nice, juicy steak on a frying pan.
Everything will be okay. The tax will be axed. The budget will be fixed. The homes will be built. And the crime will be stopped. Streets will once again be safe. Drug dealers will be behind bars, not in your community. There will be no more meth pipes at bus stops. Our Prime Minister will be respected on the world stage. We're going to stop sending jobs and investments to other countries. We're going to fight for Canada for a change. Because it's the common sense of the common people, united for our common home. We're going to bring it home.